Hello everybody! In today's video I'm going to show you some new gouache paints I got from Jackson's. I'm going to unbox them, swatch them, and then I'm going to make a few little paintings to try them out. So grab yourself a tea and enjoy the video. Feel free to paint along or to put me in the background. And let's get into it. So the first thing I got was actually a brush, and it's by Da Vinci. It's kind of like a filbert shape, which is why I wanted to get it. And let's get into the paints. So I got some acrylic gouache by Holbein, but also some by Turner. And these are the colors I got. The first one is Ash Rose. I'm gonna swatch these in a little bit, so I'll talk more about each color at that stage. This is Sap Green. And this is Opera. I love this color, by the way. Sorry, just had to say it now. And yeah, this is my first time actually trying Turner gouache. It is a little bit cheaper here in the UK, so I was pretty curious to see how it compared to Holbein. And this is Luminous Red, which is a fluorescent color. And then I also got Mixing Magenta. Sorry guys, I'm just reading as I see it on the screen, so I don't know if I'm providing great commentary, to be honest. This is Neutral Grey number 7, and next up we have Venetian Red. Oh my gosh guys, every time I try to say Venetian, I just can't. I don't know what it is. And this is Sepia. And finally I got a really big tube of white. And I think it says white on the bottle, but it's basically just a pigment for titanium white. Okay, so here are all the colors. I'm gonna start by swatching Luminous Red. I have never tried a fluorescent color before, and I was pretty curious, but these colors are actually quite expensive. And not only that, but they're fugitive, which means that when exposed to light, the color will change. So if you're planning to sell your work, I would say avoid using them, but for illustration purposes, where you're selling just digital versions or kind of copies of your work, I think it's fine. So far I've used this color a lot. I think it's the sort of color that, like, if you use too much of it, it can kind of blind you, but if you use just a tiny amount, it really brings out other colors and like bits of your work. So next up I'm gonna swatch the Mixing Magenta, and to be honest guys, this was the main reason I ended up buying all of these paints, because with magenta obviously you can mix so many different colors, and I didn't have any in my paint collection, so yeah. But then when you shop online, like, you have to hit a certain amount to get free shipping, otherwise the shipping is really expensive. So I just ended up spending a little bit more than I intended, but I guess it's for work, so it's okay, maybe. Next up we have Venetian Red. Did I say that right? I hope so. And I got this color because I was going through Turner's color charts, and there was so much I absolutely loved. Particularly in the Japanesque collection, and then I ended up adding lots of them to my basket, and this one made the cut. And it's a really nice brownish red, kind of like a brick color. So I'm very excited to use it in my work. I haven't actually tried this one yet, but just by sampling it I can tell that I'm going to use it a lot. So this next color is Neutral Grey number 7. And I got this one because I really enjoy painting with inks and making like monochromatic work. And I found that I was using a lot of whites just to get a grey. And I felt like this would be a convenient way to just have like a middle ground grey. So that is just easier for me to build out on grayscales, if that makes sense. So this next color is Ash Rose by Holbein. And I'm sure you guys will be familiar with it because I've seen it all over YouTube and Instagram. It seems to be a really popular color. Yeah, it's this sort of like pinky brown slash grey, very muted, and very warm. And it really reminds me of the colour of my bedroom walls, so I don't know, I'm obsessed with this colour. I've actually used it a lot, so I'm very glad I got it. Up next we've got Opera by Holbein, and this is not technically a fluorescent colour, but it does include some fluorescent pigments, so it is fugitive as well. Again, it's a very popular colour. I've seen it loads on Instagram and I really like it. Similarly to the orange, it really works super well to bring out colours. I use it quite a bit in like underpaintings. Yeah, I really like it. So this colour is Sepia by Tanner, and I got it because I wanted a dark colour to use in my work that wasn't black, because I find that black kind of washes out like warmth a fair amount, so I thought this would be a good alternative, and it is a really nice colour on its own nonetheless, so I'm very glad I got it too. Okay, this is our final colour. It is Sap Green by Holbein, and it's I would describe it as a very greeny green, if that makes sense. I didn't have any green like this in my gouache collection. For some reason, I only have more kind of emerald green type of colours. So I thought this would be really valuable to add to my collection if I have to do kind of nature scenes, you know, draw trees and plants. And it's a really beautiful green. I'm very glad I got it. Oh, I forgot, I also sampled my white, but you probably can't really see anything from this picture. But so far it's been great to mix other colours with, so I would definitely recommend it. It's a bit more affordable than Holbein's white, so yeah. So then I decided I actually wanted to cut the little samples to have like little sample cards of each colour, so that if I'm trying to work out a colour palette, I can just kind of move them around and see how two colours look together. And actually this has been super useful. I would definitely recommend it if you struggle with colour palettes sometimes, like I do. And I'll definitely be doing it with all my other colours. And I guess you can probably tell I got pretty saturated colours because I just felt like it would be easier to mix them with white to make them like lighter or pastel-y, if that makes sense, rather than the reverse, because often with the pastel colors they're super nice, but they contain mostly white, and I think that's absolutely fine if you just use a lot of pastel colors and you don't want to mix them all the time, just like me with the neutral gray. But for me, I'm not sure I would use them as much, so I'd rather have like more pigmented colors that I can kind of mix with other colors. Yeah, does that make sense? I hope so. Alright, I think that's enough swatching, so let's get into some painting finally. I ended up making 3 pieces to test out these paints that I will show you in this video. This is the first one, and I went into it with no plan of what I was doing. I just sketched this cat and these flowers like on the piece of paper, so yeah, I didn't plan anything. I didn't plan how I was going to use the colors, what I was going to draw and paint, so I just went with the flow, and it turned out a bit of a mess, but if I'm honest, I actually quite like it and I really enjoyed painting it. Yeah, I find that in my paintings generally I do a lot of prep work, and then it can sometimes produce paintings that look a little bit static and a little bit too planned, if that makes sense. And on this I did the exact opposite and just went with the flow, did whatever I felt like doing. And obviously in the end it means I had to repaint things a few times because I didn't like it the first time around. But I think the movement you get, the kind of energy you get with not planning something and just doing it really shows, and it's something I'm looking forward to doing more and more of. I think it requires quite a bit of confidence in yourself and your abilities, So yeah, it's something I'd like to work on more and do more of. So yeah, overall, this is kind of a messy piece. It's definitely not one of the best ones I've made, but I really enjoyed painting it, and I really enjoyed trying these colors. And I think this is something I really need to improve on myself, just being more confident in my abilities and try not to worry about what the end result will be when I'm just at the beginning of the process. I don't know, do you guys relate? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, this was also the first time I tried the fluorescent colors. I think I tried opera in this piece, and yeah, it's so fun. It just really brings out colors, brings me a lot of joy. So I'm so glad I bought that color in particular. I think I will let you guys enjoy the process and come back on my next painting.
Stop the neon colors now. Oh, yeah, it's a trip into the beyond. Can't stop the neon colors now. No.
Okay, so for this painting, I kind of had a bit more information about the colors and the consistency of the paints, and I knew how opaque some of them were, and how transparent others were, so I kind of was able to plan it better in that sense. I also used a different type of paper. I used Archer's hot press, which is a really nice paper. And using this paper means you can dilute the paint more and use a lot more water, and the paper is going to take it really nicely. So yeah, it presents some advantages to the Bristol paper, but on the other hand, it doesn't produce such defined brush strokes. So yeah, it's got like pros and cons, I guess, depends on what kind of result you're trying to achieve. And similarly to the last piece, I didn't really plan what I was going to do. I had a sketch based off another sketch in my sketchbook. Sorry, I said sketch one too many times there. But yeah, regarding the colors, I just kind of went with what I thought would look nice, and you will see that I kind of paint and repaint things a few times. But yeah, I really think that planning less is making me enjoy the process of painting quite a lot more. On this piece I also tried Ash Rose for the first time, and that's when I knew I was in love. It is such a cool colour. I think I'm obsessed with it. I worked with a relatively small colour palette on this. I use mostly sap green, ash rose, and then some magenta just to add some colour to some of the browns. Yeah, I feel it worked really nicely. I produced a lot of different tones with the colours I had, and I think it's not too overwhelming. I mean, at least for me. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm trying to reduce my colour palette as much as possible because I got some feedback in Bologna that I was using too many colours at the same time. And I definitely think I took it too personally, and it wasn't meant as like an awful criticism, but it's made me really reflect on the areas I need to improve on, and I think this is one of them. I really need to improve on my self-control because I feel like it's so easy when you have all these amazing colours accessible to you. You just want to use them all of the time. I mean, at least I do. So I'm trying to work on that a little bit and just work with less colours. Yeah, again, I don't think I achieved it particularly well here because I didn't have a plan whatsoever. And at one point I think I started getting a bit tired and frustrated, so I was just like, ugh. And here I decided to use some of the fluorescent orange for some line work, because I was just really curious to see whether it would be too much or if it would work. And honestly, I think it worked really nicely. I guess it will really depend on what kind of stuff you like, but yeah, I liked it. I think next time I would maybe tone it down a little bit, but I was pretty excited to try it when I made this, so I feel like I went all out, whatever. Yeah, and like I said, towards the end I was getting really tired and I just didn't know where to stop. Again, something else I need to work on, so I just kept on painting and painting and painting, and so I think the end result might be a little bit too busy and confusing, but again, I'm just so glad I got to practice and just do whatever I felt like. Okay guys, so these are all of the paintings I made. This is the first one that I showed you. I don't know, I really like it. It might be a bit silly, but whatever, you know. But you can see the brush strokes, right? And here's the second one. This is kind of like a sketch. I think I just did it the evening after the first one just to try and work on some things that I'd found I didn't do that well. And to be honest, this turned out to be my favorite one. So yeah, maybe not having the camera filming just helps me be a bit more free with how I paint as well. I don't know. And yeah, this is the final one that I just showed you. I used different paper for all of them, and yeah, I think I really got to test out these colors. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed coming along and trying these new paints with me. I hope you enjoyed my painting process, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Please like this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, see you very soon.